What is good, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video, and in this one, I'm going to be talking about the one and only Tesla stock and what you should be looking out for the future of this company. I'm also going to be talking about what's going on with the market and how this may affect Tesla for tomorrow as I give you guys my price prediction. I'm going to talk about what the technicals are showing, what's going on with the fear and greed index, what's happening with the Shanghai lockdowns that are getting worse, in my opinion, and this may not be the best of signs, but it is something to be discussing. And I'm going to end this video with tweets from the man, the myth, the legend himself, Elon Musk, that can be massive for Tesla going forward. Now, before I break any of this down, before I talk about what Elon Musk has been talking about and what's going on with Tesla's share price, what you need to look out for, I do have to mention a couple of things real quick. The first thing is I'm not a financial planner, so please don't take this as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, but the entire Tesla community as a whole. And the last things, if you guys can, please check out the Webull link down below and in the description. If you sign up for Webull, the link down below, and deposit any amount of money into the account, whether it's $1 or $100, it's up to you. You're guaranteed 5 free stocks, each worth up to $2,000, and you could always sell those 5 free stocks for a cash and use that cash to buy some Tesla shares for free. This is a limited time offer that ends in just 2 days, so please check it out before they run out. With that out of the way, let's get on with the video. So looking at Tesla, we're down about 9.07% for the day, taking one hell of a hit as the entire market is just very, very red. There's a big bloodbath right over here. So I actually want to break down what you should be looking out for based on what the SPY is doing and the NASDAQ. But the first thing I want to do is look at this real quick. The fear and greed index went from being fearful a couple of days ago and it just transitioned to extreme fear. We're extremely fearful right now, which is not necessarily a good sign because this is the emotion that's driving the market in a sense. So what this means is that, look, the market is extremely fearful, which means we could see some panic selling. And when people start panic selling, when there's a lot of fear, this could cause the market to take massive hits. So this is something to at least keep at the back of your mind. I'm not saying that this is guaranteed, but right now this is based off what the data is showing, and it can have an effect on us for tomorrow and the future. I also want to talk about this right here. Shanghai has tightened down on the lockdown. It's lockdown despite what's going on with cases, and the president or leader of the country ended up stating that he wants cases to be extremely low, so they are getting stricter on these lockdowns. And as a result, this can have an effect on Tesla and the market, because what's happening is, as they lock down, as the lockdowns get stricter, it's going to have a negative effect on supply chains. So when we have that negative effect, there's going to be a lack of supply of these goods, these products, and it slows down production, which in turn could actually cause inflation to go up. It won't be good for inflation. It's not going to be good for prices, as they could start to go up even more because of this. And on top of that, right now, when it comes to Tesla, they have their Shanghai Gigafactory still open. I didn't see confirmation of it closing down or slowing down just yet. So as of right now, it shouldn't be too bad. I think they were up to about 85% production. They're doing much better starting last week. But as of right now, I don't know how this is going to affect them. And this is something to keep in your minds, because this could be a negative catalyst if this ends up affecting Tesla's production. So I also want to talk about what could end up happening now. So when it comes to the SPY, right, this tracks the S&P 500. We had a nice demand zone around that 400 to 399 level, and you could see we broke below it towards close, and we had a pretty rough close. We pushed down pretty hard, and as a result of this kind of close, it's not necessarily a good sign to see what ended up happening. So there are some bearish signals, so to speak. Now, the bullish situation is this right here. We have this massive gap that formed, and I do believe this is going to get filled in the future, but it's very hard to make that prediction right now, because what's happening is we have CPI coming out on Wednesday. Maybe CPI will be better than expected, and it's possible the market pushes up. I don't truly know, and we'll have to look at the data first to make that claim. But the thing about CPI is this: if CPI is below expectations, right? If we end up, if our inflation numbers are lower than what we expected it to be, the market would rally. It's going to be good. If they're worse, if inflation is higher, if it's over like 8.5%, for example, it's going to be bad. The market's going to take a hit, and it's just something to remember going forward. Now, we're not there yet. CPI is obviously reported on Wednesday. We're currently about to enter Tuesday. So, what's going on with Tesla? Tesla obviously kind of tracks both the SPY and the NASDAQ, and there is that gap to the upside. The question is, when is the gap going to get filled? And I don't truly know. I don't think it's going to happen tomorrow, but what I do think that's a possibility is something could slowly help us to start running to the upside. Hopefully, we do get that relief rally, which I believe we eventually will. But I don't know if it's going to start tomorrow for sure, or if it's going to take a few days, or if it's going to happen after CPI. That is up to the market to essentially decide. But based off our analysis and based off technicals, I can give you a good idea and build your understanding of what to be looking out for Tesla. So in my previous video, I told you this. I did predict that today wouldn't be that bad, but I also told you the possibility that, look, if this thing dropped to 800 and I'm sorry, if we dropped below $847, if we dropped below this support zone right here, we would get a bounce off $821. We got a nice bounce there, and you could see right here, we got that bounce off 821. We pushed up, we had resistance now very close to where that previous support was. And what happened was we broke below 821. And I mentioned that if we broke below 821, 800 is the next key zone. And you could see for almost the entire day, Tesla was just bouncing between the support and resistance level. So that's between 800 and 821. We were just bouncing back and forth. We ended up dropping a little bit below it, but we tried to hold. You could see we were trying to hold 800. We tried so hard. Look at all these touches, like right here towards the very end. We tried very hard and we could not do it. We ended up getting rug pulled at the very end, pushing all the way down to $781. Now, we got a nice bounce. We wanted to start pushing up, but right now it's not in the best of states. So I want to talk about what's the bullish and bearish situation before I give you guys my price prediction. Well, from a bullish standpoint, okay, if this thing starts pushing, we're going to have resistance at 800. Excuse me. 800 will be resistance. We're going to have resistance at 821. Then 847 will be resistance. Keep this in your mind, especially if you're trying to watch the price action, if you need an understanding of what to be looking out for when you're trading. These are the important zones to be looking out for. Then when it comes to support, where is our key level of support? Well, from what I found, we did get a slight bounce off 781. So that could be an indicator that, yeah, things are improving. Maybe that's our key support, but that's not what I found. I found the key support to be around 775 to 776, somewhere around there. That's where our support should be. If we can't hold that, the next key zone is $756. If that doesn't hold us, then there's a lot of space. Maybe 740, we could see some bounces around there, but otherwise we drop down to $722. If that somehow doesn't hold us, just hypothetically, then we have 700 as support. Now, it's very unlikely we just drop that low that quickly. Typically, we get nice bounces somewhere around here, and that's what I'm going to be looking out for. So, what is my price prediction now based on what we're seeing? Well, I think that if you look at this from a technical perspective, look at the RSI. And if you look at the 2-hour chart, Tesla closed really, really low on its RSI. We're very oversold right now. So this could be a very good buying opportunity. We also have some gaps to the upside. If you look at the SPY, it's the same story. Very oversold. Very, very oversold in this territory. We also have gaps up for the SPY. I mean, the NASDAQ, a ton of stocks are like that. So what I'm waiting for is that moment we bounce. I don't know when it's going to come. It may come, I don't know, tomorrow. It may take a few days. But for what I predict is this. I think there might be a little bit more downside. So I think what could happen is Tesla's going to try to test 776 or 775. We're going to, excuse me, get a rejection. We're going to try pushing above that. And we're going to trade a little bit sideways. And we might get a drop all the way down to 756. I want to prepare you for that. But then as we drop, we might drop a little bit below it, as close as 740. We'll get a nice bounce off of that. And it's possible the market actually pushes a little bit up and we manage to actually close a little bit green. That's a possibility. What could happen is we start running after and we end up getting rejected off 800 and we close somewhere between that 780 to 800 range. That's very, very possible. So that is what I think may end up happening as we are getting closer to CPI. And unless someone already knows what's going to happen, that is what could end up playing out. So, like I said before, we're going to have some support at 775. We're probably going to get a bounce off of that, kind of push up, trade kind of sideways like this. I know the days are like off. Pretend this is all just for tomorrow because I'm using 2 hour candles. Tomorrow, we might drop like this, right? Drop below 775, try to push out of it, trade a little bit like this around 756. We could push one last time like this before getting a nice balance, maybe forming an inverse head and shoulders. And then we push up like this and maybe close around here. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw something like this. It's possible for us to be slightly green. I don't think it's going to be as bad as it was today. And that's just the way I'm seeing it, because I do think we're looking for that nice balance. So hopefully we see it tomorrow. Ignore the dates on the bottom. This is just for tomorrow. We might see an action like this. And with that out of the way, I just want to remind you that these zones are key support and resistance levels, and you should keep them in your mind when you're trying to trade or even look at Tesla, so to speak. The last thing I wanted to talk about is this right here involving Elon Musk. This person right here, known as History Defined, and this is just a random person or user. I never really saw this on Elon Musk's Twitter or anything like that. They stated that uh, excuse me, amazing detail of the Red Fort in Agra, India. And Elon Musk responded, "It is amazing. I visited in 2007 and saw the Taj Mahal, which is truly a wonder of the world." So many Tesla investors, many people are excited because they believe there's a possibility that Tesla is going to open a gigafactory in India. Now, that's a possibility. Tesla has been looking at that, as Elon Musk did mention that Tesla's working with regulators right now. To me, that could be massive, massive news. And maybe this is an Easter egg, maybe not. I think that's a bit of a stretch. But for him to, coincidentally bring this up could be very interesting. But, anyways, looking into Tesla, I don't know when they're going to find their bottom, probably tomorrow. And it also depends on CPI. But from a technical perspective, let's just look at the MACD, RSI. Things are looking kind of bearish, which is why I talked about the fact that we may drop a little bit more tomorrow, find our bottom. Maybe it's around 750, maybe 740, somewhere around there. And then we should get a nice bounce, a relief bounce temporarily, just for the time being, and maybe close at a better state going into the CPI report. That's not guaranteed, like I said, but just be prepared for anything, and also be prepared for a trend reversal, which can catch you off guard at any given moment, because the market could be very unpredictable sometimes. But there's one thing I do know, and that is right now, Tesla's very oversold. This is a very good buying opportunity for the long term. And this company, as it's expanding, as it kills it with deliveries, as they get better and develop AI, their potential to grow is still there. And I'm still incredibly bullish for the long term. So it's nothing to be worried about if you're a long term investor. If you're a short term investor, look out for the support and resistance levels. Use your technical indicators that you really like to use, like the RSI. If you like to use the MACD, your super trend, or your exponential moving averages, this is just what I'm trying to show you. With that out of the way, thank you. Get ready for anything. Be prepared for tomorrow. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Tesla to the moon, and peace out.